The Mike Hosking Breakfast with ASB, helping you to succeed on News Talk ZB.
Monday morning, what a morning it is for sport. Andrew Saville, Tony Johnson with the commentary box after 8. Very nice surprise coming shortly. I'll explain more in just a couple of moments. But at 20 to 8, the Prime Minister is with us. Good morning.
Morning, Mike.
Now, out of 10, what would you rate your weekend with Tony Abbott, given very little seemed to have got done?
I don't agree with that. So I can give you a rating. It would be much higher than maybe others might.
Well, what about the two things we wanted some potential action on, the expats and, of course, the Coles-Woolworths thing?
Yeah, well, okay. But, I mean, firstly, you've got to get through the achievable, which is reasonable. So if you take the Kiwis in Australia, he actually did make some movement. Before we went over there, we heard that they might cancel this extension of giving effectively student loans to Kiwis in that category. It had been proposed by the Australians, but their budget deficit is so large. I mean, they are looking at everything they can do to save money. So we heard that was off, as well as a number of other things that they actually did. So they're taking a fresh look at the invitation credit issues. We had joint visas. They're extending SmartGate. We've agreed on a few things we're doing with Gallipoli. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that in terms of the Coles Myer Woolworths issue with supermarkets, I mean, it's sort of just there's very little he can actually do in terms of it's a private company. But what the Australian government has done is set up a government review of competition in effectively supermarkets in Australia, and that process has been run. I think the ACCC is involved as well, the Australian competition authorities. And he's, actively encouraging New Zealand companies to submit to that. Let's see where it goes. So, realistically, I mean, it's all very well, but, I saw David Cunliffe on TV. Basically,
he used the word supplicant. You were supplicant.
What an idiot. I'm sorry. But, I mean, the guy goes in there and says, hey, why don't you get better rights for New Zealanders, forgetting he was part of the government that signed New Zealand up to this.
Well, Gough says also it's a breach of CER.
Well, that's lovely, but he should go and have a chat to Crown Law, whose view is that preliminarily it's not. So great if it is, because if it is, we can take the case, but that doesn't appear to be the case.
All right. When you dined at Kirribilli the other night, do they have their own wine? What happens there?
It's not a Kirribilli label, but we had some Penfolds Shiraz.
Oh, okay.
Great, I think, very nice.